Hi, I'm Carly of Gnarly Carly Gaming, and today we are discussing Hidden Leaders and its new expansion, Forgotten Legends by BFF Games. In Hidden Leaders, players take on the role of leaders, each aligned with 2 out of 4 possible factions: the Undead, the Imperial Army, the Hill Tribes, and the Waterfolk. For example, if I were to draw this leader card, I would be aligned with the Undead faction as well as the Imperial Army. But every player's alliance is actually kept secret till the end of the game. At the end of the game, players will look to the center board to see which faction has won, and then only the player strongest in that faction, who has that alliance, will win the game. If both the Hill Tribe marker as well as the Imperial marker both end up in the dark region of the board, all players fall into darkness, and the Undead faction will win the game. If both pawns aren't in darkness, however, it's all about the relative position of these 2 pawns. For example, if both pawns end up on the same space or on adjacent spaces, the Waterfolk win. And the Hill Tribes and Imperial Army really want to outdo each other. So if the Imperial Army token is 2 spaces ahead or more of the Hill Tribe token, the Imperial Army will win, and vice versa is true for the Hill Tribes. But let's say I'm this leader, and I'm the Imperial Army and Darkness, and Darkness has won the game, both players falling into Darkness. Now I and any other player that is of the Darkness Alliance will reveal their card, then needing to compare just how many heroes, player cards that they'll play throughout the game, they have in Darkness. Whoever has the most hero cards of the Darkness ruling that party will be declared the winner. The entire game of Hidden Leaders, then, is this cheeky tug-of-war between controlling these pawns as well as gaining power in your different alliances, trying to really play the game and other players to figure out just how you can get your way at endgame. I first played this game at my bud Scott's house and was delighted with it. While ultimately it typically becomes clear who you're vying for and who other people are vying for, a well-kept secret can make all the difference in the game, and really tugging back and forth and playing off people who might be going for the same thing as you is really what makes this game come to life. This game is then a really great fit for someone looking for a light social deduction experience. You don't have to actively lie, but maintaining a facade can help you in the long term. And as it's slowly revealed, it's totally okay. So there's a bit of deduction, a little bit of deceit you can play off of, but really it's an easy, approachable game with just a bit of grit. And now BFF Games is expanding the world of Hidden Leaders, making it all the better with the brand new expansion, Forgotten Legends, coming to Kickstarter. Forgotten Legends adds 3 different modules to spice up the gameplay of Hidden Leaders. The first module of Forgotten Legends is the Guardians module. A ritual has awakened the Guardians, adding a whole new faction to the game that will begin to vie for their own power. The Guardian token will join the board, starting all the way at the end of the track, and will only win the game if they are ahead of both pawns, winning even if both other pawns have fallen into darkness. New leader cards will be shuffled into the mix, and so now players will have a chance to root for this Guardian token to take the lead, and new hero cards will come into play. These are extraordinarily powerful heroes. Every hero card in the game allows you to change the board state or recruit more heroes, something to help you get your way. But these new Guardian heroes really offer incentive for everybody to play them. They are incredibly powerful and can change the game in drastic ways. But each and every time they're played, the Guardian token will move 2 forward. So even players who aren't aligned with the Guardian faction may take the risk of marching it forward because of the power it will afford them. The second module of the expansion is the Corruption module. In the Corruption module, players will take a bag full of corruption tokens, and throughout the game will be able to draw these tokens. Corruption tokens are incredibly powerful. They get placed on a hero's card in front of you and can change that hero's alignment, or instead can protect that hero from adverse effects during the game. So while other players may think I have an Undead card in front of me, I could have actually turned it into an Imperial Army. Alternatively, it could be extra protected, or I could put the same token on top of it, confusing players as to how strong I am in any given faction. Using these corruption tokens can be so powerful that there's an optional variant that a player can actually pass their entire turn just to draw an extra token from the bag. The third module of the game is the Artifacts module. In this module, each player will begin the game with one random artifact. These artifacts giving each player a special ability that they can use a set number of times in the games, depending on how strong they are. The stronger the item, the less times you generally get to use it. These three modules all do a lot to heighten the fun of gameplay. They keep the same light feel of the original game while adding new and mechanically fun pathways to victory. As I said before, I think Hidden Leaders and its expansion are an incredibly great fit for anyone who enjoys a party game with a little bit more of a social bite. It is a wonderful game for anyone looking to hop into social deduction for the first time, and it's a game that expands the more and more you play it. Most people I've seen play the game, the first play of it, play it pretty obviously. I can tell what they're going for and what they're doing, but after a couple plays, everybody in the group kind of evolves, and the level of deceit and trickery and just playfulness really expands game to game. And whether or not you are brand new to Hidden Leaders or a longtime fan, I think the expansion really takes it up a notch. It really pushes players into that playful space much faster. The asymmetry from artifacts means that players always feel like they have a little bit of an edge that they can wait for. The Guardians expansion means that there's a lot more powerful and fun abilities at play, and the corruption tokens just add a way to kind of recoup regardless of what heroes come up. I may only draw green when I want red and black, but maybe I can change that if I just toy with a little bit of corruption. I think it really just expands the base game in a way that isn't any more difficult, but is a lot more fun. For those interested in the base game, expansion, or both, I will provide a link to the Kickstarter below to check out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and otherwise, I will see you all for the next video.